Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. We are in 180th session of the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle, and we are discussing chapter number 18, the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. So, very, very special and very important chapter for all of us. We are almost reached the second half of the chapter 18. But before we begin, let us chant the pranam mantras as we always do. Please join your palms and chant along with me the pranam mantras which will be displayed on the screen. Let us dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. So let us chant the pranam mantras. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Hare Krishna. So we had discussed until verse number 55 in the previous session. And in the previous session, we discussed how Krishna is talking about Swadharma, how it is so important to perform one's own dharma. Because once we start doing our own dharma, then it is very much in line with our nature and we get success very easily, and we are also very happy when we do our own work. It is very important. We also had discussed briefly about how there are these four categories, varnas, four ashramas, but we specifically talked about the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And all these categories are based upon the three modes of material nature, right? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So, based on these, when we do our own activities, it brings a lot of satisfaction and happiness. You don't have to really go out and work for something else which is not your nature. Working according to our own nature brings us a lot of joy and happiness and also success, right? So, we had discussed about that. And also, if we don't do your own swadharma, if you do paradharma, then there will be a problem because you will commit sin when you are not in line with your own nature because you are trying to do something more. What we understood was one very important principle last time. If you can exhaust your previous vasanas by performing your swadharma, it is great. If not, you will add on to more vasanas of the other dharma, and plus your previous vasanas are not getting exhausted. Right? This is one very important principle that you should remember, right, about Swadharma. And we also understood about how there are professional hazards. In every activity, any activity that you do, any work that you do, there is always some risk involved in anything, including spiritual preachers who are doing something. They also have to face some professional hazard. That is a part and parcel of every work that we do in this material world. Nothing can be perfect, right? So, Vedic culture, Vedic system of the caste is very scientific in nature. We understood that how across the world there are people who fall in this categories of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So we understood that, and we understood that how From Pravati Marga, Krishna went on to talk about the Nivritti Marga, being actionless, right? Actionless means not that we do not perform action, but action without any fruits. In the sense, we don't desire for fruits. Fruits will come. Any action means there will be some fruits, but you don't desire for them. You do everything as a service of the Lord. You do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. That is most important. We also understood that a person who is in Nivritti Marga, he sits in a solitary place, eats very less, he is very disciplined in terms of his speech, his thoughts, and his actions. This disciplining of the mind is very important, because when we don't have this proper discipline of the mind, then we cannot sit for meditation. Meditation is possible only when there is discipline in the mind, right? And there is vairagya in this person. He withdraws everything from the outside world. He is not inside, uh, he is not into doing all material activities. So he withdraws his senses from the outside world. And the best part is that he is free from ahankara. There is no identification with the body, basically. He is free from the false ego, right? And is very powerful. Balam, ahankaram, balam. Balam means what? Not the physical strength, but he has the strength to take care of his negative emotions, right? Darpa, kama, krodha, vairagyam, nirmama. So all these negative emotions which are there, negative qualities which are there, he has the balam to take them out of his consciousness. That is one more important thing, right? So he lives a very meditation-oriented life, very peaceful life, and perfect happiness is when we are identifying completely with ourselves. And the best thing is, happiness comes when we samadrishti. We all have that, when we come to that state of having equal vision. It is so much stressed upon in the Bhagavad Gita, having equal vision all the time, isn't it? Every time we talk about equal vision to others, looking everything as part and parcel of Krishna, very important. Hmm? So we had discussed until verse number 55. So we can go to the verse number 66. So in this chapter, we have so far covered a lot of things actually: Jnanam, Gneyam, Karma, Karta, right? So many factors are there. And Krishna talks about Dhyana Yoga Paraha, understanding the nature of the self. Uh, and when you start reflecting yourself, you have that introspection from within, then there'll be a lot of removal of your doubts. When you introspect anytime, uh, then you go deeper into yourself, then automatically doubts will glow. When you don't have doubts, then with that clarity you can also guide others. It's very important. So you will not be able to guide others unless you are having doubts. And uh, to the level, to the extent you clear your doubts, to that extent you will be able to guide others. That's very important. It's very wonderful. So all these deep-rooted erroneous beliefs, which makes us identify with the body, will be taken out if you sit at the seat of meditation and identify only with your true self. Right? So now let us chant the 56th verse, maybe 57th also. So, Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the verse number 56. Sarvakarmani api sada
सर्वकर्माणि अपि सदा
kurvano madvyapashrayah
कुर्वाणो आश्रय व्यपाश्रय
matprasadad avapnoti
मत्प्रसादात् अवाप्नोति
shashvatam padamavyayam.
शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you. We will also chant the next verse, 57th verse. Just give me a minute. Yeah. चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि
चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः
बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य
बुद्धियोगम् उपाश्रित्य
चित्तं सततं भव.
मच्चित्त सततं भव.
Wonderful. Read the translation.
In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So, this is one very interesting verse. See, clearly Krishna is stating here. We also have on YouTube joining Lakshmi Mataji and Krishnananda Prabhu. Thank you so much for joining. So, Krishna, after stating that how one has to develop these wonderful qualities at the seat of meditation, now Krishna is trying to inspire. What is his, how is he inspiring Arjuna? He's saying, though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure duty under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So this is the ultimate thing. We all have to have this ultimate goal in mind, that every activity that we do should have one direction, and that direction is that I want to reach the eternal abode of the Lord, imperishable abode. So Krishna is using this very important word here. He's saying imperishable. Huh? Mat prasadat. According to my this thing, you will get my mercy basically. Avapnoti shashwatam padam avyayam. Avyayam, it is imperishable, and shashwatam always existing. So this is a very ultimate goal of each one of us sadhakas, that we have to reach that goal. What Krishna is saying, although engaged in kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, he is also giving you protection. But whom is he giving protection? To his devotees. Special protection is given. So, what is the crux of this whole thing here? Krishna is saying that you become my devotee, not just devotee, you need to become my pure devotee. Now, this pure devotee is very important, because many times many people will say, I am a devotee, Prabhuji. You know, so many devotees go to ISKCON temple. Without ISKCON temple, also there are others who are so many devotees of Krishna, right? They like Krishna for so many reasons. They follow, they go to the temples regularly. But when we talk about pure devotee is one who gets rid of all the internal enemies. Our heart is filled sometimes with lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, right? When you get rid of all these enemies inside, that is the time when we become pure devotees. Now, this is a check for us, that am I a pure devotee? Oh, no, no, there is some anger inside me. Then I am still not. Even a lot of people are suffering with anger, greed, envy. So many things they want to complicate their life with, right? So, Krishna is saying, if you at least endeavor to become pure devotee, then I will give protection. Because who protection is required for whom? For those who are trying to become pure. Already those who are pure, they are already protected. But we are in the process of becoming pure. So that's why Krishna will also give protection. So this is such a wonderful thing. Promise, Krishna is promising, I will give you protection. So why we have to worry so much? Our worries should be what? Am I doing my sadhana properly or not? Rest other things really doesn't matter. Everything else according to your karma will be delivered to you. Whatever is in your quota, material things, as per your prarabdha, will be given to you. You don't ask for it, it will still come to you. All good things, bad things, everything will come to you. But what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to do, oh my Lord, I don't have to worry about all these good, bad things, material things. Let me worry about only one thing, and that is my own sadhana. We have to invest in ourselves. This is the greatest investment that anyone can do. Investing in increasing your knowledge base, investing in your own sadhana. That is what is actually going to come. Other investments will not come to you, right? So we need to perform our actions with the right understanding. Where am I investing my energy in my life? Am I investing my or redirecting my energy to material things or spiritual things? This constant check should be there. We need to understand the dangers and the benefits of the actions, the karma that we do. That's the right understanding. When you perform any action, you should know what is the danger of doing this. Danger is what? Am I going to get entangled in the material things, more and more materialistic things? Or this action is going to liberate me from my bondage. This clarity should be there. Any activity that you do is going to bind you, please get rid of it. Right? So this is 56 and 57. Krishna is saying very nicely. Krishna is saying that what? In all the activities, just depend upon me again and work always under my protection. See, protection is ready to give, and under my protection you do. And the best protection comes in the form of spiritual master. The spiritual master, he takes all your unwanted things and he protects us. The immediate protection comes from Guru, and Guru is sent by Krishna only. And there's no difference between Guru and Krishna. Shakshadharitvena samasta shastra. So, Shakshadhari, Krishna comes in the form of Prabhupada. In the sense what? Prabhupada is of course an individual personality. But they are not different in the sense we worship Guru as equal as Krishna because Guru is one who offers us Krishna. So we get the protection of the Guru, we get protection of Krishna. Krishna is saying very clearly here. And in such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. This is the ultimate thing. Krishna is only asking us, be conscious. Any activity that you do, be conscious of me. Arjuna, you want to fight? Be conscious of me. You're cooking right now? Be conscious of me. You're working on your laptop? Be conscious of me. You're doing yoga? Be conscious of me. You're speaking? Be conscious of me. You're traveling anywhere? You be conscious of me. You're taking bath? Be conscious of me. See, we are doing activities, but be conscious of me. Fully conscious of me. This is a devotee. That is what takes us to becoming a pure devotee. A pure devotee means he's fully conscious of Krishna. That is pure devotee. When he's fully conscious of Krishna, he's in love with Krishna. Right? Only when you are fully involved in somebody, fully in love with somebody, that is when you are conscious of that person. Because you constant, no matter what you're doing, you're constantly thinking about that person. So love is a factor. So you have to develop the love. And love comes how we develop when by service. So you do service, you develop love for Krishna. You develop love for Krishna, you're conscious all the time about Krishna, fully conscious of Krishna. So what is happening? If you do service properly, engaged in service properly, then what is happening? You are actually becoming fully conscious of Krishna through service. Service means what? Not in the temple alone. Temple is giving you great opportunity. You need to take out some time and go and do some seva in the temple. That is very important. At least as grahasthas, once in a week you go to the temple, do some seva. Great. And if not, then at least at home, whatever activities you do it as service to the Lord. Then what is happening? That service is becoming helping you to reach that consciousness, fully conscious of Krishna. Right? This is how it is. So, Dev, unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verses. Verse number 58. It's come here. Verse number 58. Machitta sarva durgani. Let me add Divik also. We have Achyutanji also. Okay, great. Okay, Achyutanji, you are there? We can chant.
You told me about.
Yeah, Dev, you are there.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I didn't hear you calling me out. That's why.
All right, okay, Dev. Then we'll chant, okay?
Yeah.
Machitta sarva durgani.
Machitta sarva durgani.
Matprasada tarishyasi
Mat prasada tarishyasi.
atachetvam ahankaran
अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान्
न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्षसि.
न क्षोष्यसि विनक्ष्यसि.
Okay, let's read the translation.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Hare Krishna.
Once again. So let us also chant the next two verses. Yeah, so let us chant the next two verses also. One second. Verse number 59. Yad ahankaram ashritya
यद् अहङ्कारमाश्रित्य
न yotsya iti manyase
न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे
mityesha vyavasayaste
मिथ्येषा व्यवसायस्ते
prakritistvam niyokshyati.
प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
Wonderful. Also, let's chant the next one, 60th. Swabhavajena kaunteya
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय
nibaddhasvena karmana
निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा
tum nechasi yanmohat
कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात्
karishyasi avashopitat.
करिष्यसि अवशोऽपि तत्.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. So, very interesting. Krishna is saying in the 58th verse, what is he saying? See, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. Let us understand this. See how simple and clear it is. For any devotee, a pure devotee, it is not very difficult to overcome the obstacles because there is a protection of Krishna. Many times when in rainy season, you will see when the small calves, not the cow also, the calf, when they walk on the streets, muddy streets, they will create a hoof print on the roads. Hoof prints are there. And in that hoof prints, when the rain comes, that hoof prints will have a little water collection there, right? Little bit water is there in that hoof prints. You how difficult it is to actually cross over the hoof print of a calf. It is such a small thing, right? A hoof print of a calf is very small. Now crossing over the hoof print is a baby's walk. Even a small baby can cross over it. So similarly, when you are actually under the protection of Krishna, when you are under the guidance of Krishna, automatically your obstacles in life, your difficulties in life become very small, just like the hoof print of a calf. You can easily cross over them. It is so easy to understand. So Krishna is giving us that assurance that he's saying that, okay, by my grace, you can easily cross over all the difficulties. What we need to do is just become conscious of him. Being conscious of him is the great challenge for us because we are so much giving our attention to the TVs, the mobiles, the social media, and all the unwanted people in our life. We give a lot of our attention in life to these things. And because our attention is being grabbed by so many people and so many activities and situations in life, IPL is going on, now the war is going on. So people are, and the situations and the events in life take away our attention from the main thing, and the main thing is to be conscious of Krishna, right? So when we become fully conscious of Krishna, then taking or crossing over the difficulties in your life, solving your problems, see, whatever situations might be very burning situations also outside, but then it's not going to solve your problem. Your individual problems have to be solved by you alone. Nobody can solve it for you. The problems of your mind cannot be solved by anyone else. You need to solve the problems. And if you actually solve the problems in your mind, then you can actually be very free. You go anywhere in any part of the world, you will be happy because you're conscious of Krishna all the time. See, ultimately, whether you are here in America, in Australia, in whatever place you are carrying the same mind, right? And if your mind is disturbed, you're not conscious of Krishna, you will be disturbed everywhere. Even if you go to the most important place, some very nice uh, holiday place, you go to a trip, people go out things, right? Because they want to be very, very peaceful. But you are carrying the same disturbed mind. No matter where you go, you will only spend your money and come, but it's not going to really help. So don't be conditioned with all the negativities. Krishna is saying, be conscious of me. Now, Krishna is basically what he's doing here is he's giving options to Arjuna. He's saying, if, however, see his words, if, however, you do not work in such a consciousness, but act through your false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So if you basically what? If you're acting according to me, no problem. But if you don't act according to me, then there is a problem. So Krishna is talking about two things here. Very important. Huh? If you follow me, no obstacles. If you don't follow me, full of obstacles. If you act as per your ego, if you disobey me, then you will be ruined. So it's very clear for us actually. He's not telling only to Arjuna, he's telling it to all of us. When we don't act as per the laws, when we don't act as per the injunctions of Bhagavad Gita, we will be ruined. Life which is ruled by our own vasanas, a vasana based life, and not the Shastra based life, then our life is doomed. If we lead a life which is vasana based, means act according to our own whimsical ideas, then the problem is we will be doomed. Our life should be guided by Shastra, not by our vasanas, right? And here Arjuna had a very great resolve. What is that great resolve in the beginning of Kurukshetra war, in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita? Is he had a resolve that I will not fail. I will not fight, basically. I will fail. Why should I fight unnecessarily with my own people? Right? Now, that's why Krishna is saying in the next verse, he's saying, there is your nature. You have a certain nature. See what Krishna is saying? Let us understand. In the 59th verse, quote Krishna, if you do not act according to my direction and you don't fight, then you will be falsely directed. Your direction will change. Why your direction will change? Krishna is asking him to fight, and Arjuna is saying, I will not fight. So Krishna is saying, if you don't act as per me, if you don't fight, then your direction will change. What is the direction? By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. Somewhere, because your nature is like that. See, it is more clarified in the next verse. What is he saying? He's saying that Swabhava Jena Kaunteya. Swabhava. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. Under illusion, Krishna is saying, oh, because there is illusion, you don't want to act as per my direction. I'm asking you to fight. But compelled by my work, born by your own nature, you will act all the same. Means you will still fight, O son of Kunti. Let us understand this little better. So, you have taken a resolve that you will not fight. Correct. But your nature is to fight. Why your nature is to fight? Because there is rajas in you. The rajas will make us fight helplessly. Even if you don't want to fight, because there is so much of rajas in you, and Krishna has identified that, you have to act according to your nature. That's what Krishna is telling you, it's your nature. You're a Kshatriya. You have to fight. Now Krishna is saying we have a choice. Why? What is your choice? By talking about two options. He's talking about two options. To fight as per my direction, or you don't fight and then get misdirected. Right? But now, in one sense, we have no choice also. Krishna is saying it's contradicting. Why is there no choice? Because you have a nature. See, choice means what? I like it, I don't like it. I like it, I'll do it. If I don't like it, I'll not do it. But Krishna is also saying, although you have this like and dislike, maybe, but there is also, in one sense, you are driven by your own nature. So that means, do I have a choice or no? Confusion is there, right? Looks like a little contradictory. Now let us understand this. Our vasanas, deep rooted desires, they force us to perform actions. What is that force? Where is that force coming from? The Rajaguna. Rajas is there in us. So that Vasana will force us to perform action. But what? We have a choice. Where we have a choice whether to act self in a selfish way or in a selfless way. Selfish action or selfless action. This choice we have. You have to act because there is rajas. But whether you should act in a selfish way or in a selfless way, that choice is with you. Right? Let us take an example. If violence is my vasana, okay, my deep rooted desire is what? Violence. Now, if it is directed properly, I will fight for the nation. Soldiers, take an example. It is properly directed, then I will become a soldier and I will fight against my enemies. Right? But if there is violence inside you and if it is not directed, then people will become like Veerappan. Now, Veerappan also had deep rooted Kshatriya qualities. All Kshatriya qualities which are mentioned in the previous verses, Veerappan had all those things. Shaurya is there, Balam is there. He used all the Kshatriya qualities. That why violence is there, his Vasana is there. But it is misdirected. Right? And because it is misdirected, he did not join army, Indian army. He went on looting people, killing elephants. Right? So violence is there, misdirected, it will not give you any proper result. But if it is directed, then it is glorified. Getting the point? Now, it is very important. Giving the right direction to your desires is very important. We will have desires. But if the direction is missing, then our life is doomed. So the vasana can be expressed properly. The expression of vasana, we don't have choice. We will be helplessly acting according to our vasanas because there is a force. Rajas force is there. Rajoguna, you cannot avoid it. There is Rajoguna. You don't have any control over it. But since there is a force, what we are supposed to do, we have a choice. Choice to a proper direction, then automatically right direction, wrong direction, that choice we have. But you will act according to your vasanas. So giving the right direction is what is under our choice. And that is what decides our future karma. What we are going to get in our future life depends on what? The choices that we make. Currently, this body that you have, this intelligence that you have, this family that you have, is what? It is nothing but your choice in the past. Your choices are giving you what you have today. Correct? So, if we take the right direction in life, then we will get the right results. Because forces are there. The forces to act is there. Rajoguna is there in all of us. And we are in the earthly planet, remember? Earthly planet means what? More of Rajoguna. Heavenly planets, more of Sattva hellish planets, more of Tamaguna. We are in the earthly planet, means already Rajoguna is more prominent in us. We have it by our own nature, plus the influence of being in the earthly planet is also there. That means Rajoguna is more. Now, in case of Arjuna, just imagine Arjuna, he's saying that I will not fight and I will go and join some ashram. This is what he's saying. If he goes and joins some brahmachari ashram, he will not be peaceful there. He will simply disturb all the brahmacharis there. He will say he'll beat the brahmacharis because violence is there inside. He will see he'll find some faults in the brahmachari ashram and brahmachari is living there and he will beat them up. He will torture them. All the boys there in ashram. Arjuna cannot do that because his vasana is not still exhausted. Right? So every action actually has an effect, defect that we have discussed previously also. So killing is the defect of a Kshatriya work. Kshatriya work involves killing. You cannot avoid it. It's a defect. But then you are doing it for what? At the higher cost to establish dharma. Killing, when it is directed to establish dharma, then it is the right thing. Now, that is why it is called dharma yuddha. So we need to use our vasanas constructively and giving the direction, right direction comes with right understanding of our philosophy, right understanding comes through knowledge. When we get this proper knowledge, then we give the right directions to, we channelize our vasanas properly. Getting the point? So, as per the forces of our vasanas, no control, right? No choice. But giving the direction to those vasanas is our choice. This is what we need to understand. Very, very important. You look at even a businessman also, business people. No, when business people they have the ability to make money, they will become Ambanis. They know how to make money. Now that's the right direction. They help people. Ambani's big company. But if it is misdirected, if a businessman is misdirected, then he'll become Harshad Mehta. He will try to find the loopholes in the systems of the government and the systems of the financial sectors, and they'll become big scammers, right? That is why we need to understand giving the right direction to the vasanas is our choice. So make the right choices. So now Krishna is going to say that in this world there is no choice again. In this world, Krishna is saying that there is no choice. What is that no choice? We will understand. It looks very contradictory. That's why we need to understand. Okay, so Divik, unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Just hold on. Just hold on. 61st verse. Okay. Yeah. ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां
हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति
हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि
यन्त्ररूढानि मायया.
यन्त्ररूढानि मायया.
Please read the translation.
Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work.
Sorry. This is not the right translation. Just hold on. Very, very sorry. Actually, this is not the right translation. I missed it actually. Sorry. Just give me a minute. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Let me read it by myself because it will take time to make it right now. So the translation is actually the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energies. Yantra Rudani Mayaya. Yantra Ruda. Yantra means machine. Who are seated as on a machine made by material energy. So let us understand this a little bit better. Okay. So what Krishna is saying very clearly here. Yeah. What is this? The Lord is sitting in everyone's heart. We all know that. Now, the Lord who is within our heart is the one who actually directs all our actions. Basically, he sanctions everything that we do. That means what? We are like puppets in the hands of the Lord because everything is controlled. If the Lord is doing everything, then the criminal may say, my criminal activities are also done by Lord. Correct. He may say, if everything is done, we have no choice only, we have nothing of our own, then even the criminals who are doing criminal activity is done by the Lord only because ultimately the Lord is only sanctioning. So ultimately, when it is sanctioned by the Lord, then ultimately Lord is the one who is responsible for all the bad activities that are happening in the world. Now Pelgam activity that happened, terrorists came and they have shot people. It is all sanctioned by the Lord only. So Krishna only is doing all these evil things also, criminal things also. Somebody may ask, if everything is Entra Rudani Maya and he's sitting in the Lord, then it is the Lord who is doing all the criminal activities. So let us understand. Discuss. There are two types of people. One is a pure devotee. What is the pure devotee? He's fully conscious of Krishna. He knows everything is done by God. Everything is given by God. The field of activity is actually given by God. The resources are given by God. Everything comes from God. The inspiration that I have to do work is also coming from God. This is a pure devotee's idea. His consciousness is like this. So when everything is actually coming from God, there is no problem. Because this devotee, pure devotee, is in Sattva Guna, he is in full goodness, such a person is ruled by God. Please understand. Such a person who is in fully sattvic consciousness is ruled by God. He is nothing, no dependent on his own false ego. He is completely dependent on God. That's what is pure devotee. And such a person is ruled by God. That means for him, everything is actually done by God. He is like sannyasis, no? Pure devotees. They are not thinking where will my next food come from. They're just wandering from one place to another place, one place to another place. They are not thinking that, okay, I have some bank balance, I'll take nothing. They have nothing actually, absolutely nothing. They are dependent on Krishna, so dependent that they don't even bother about the next meal. They think if Krishna gives, I will eat. If he doesn't give, then forget it. That is how the Goswamis were. So when they are so dependent on God, Krishna takes care of them fully, full charge. Because just like a baby is so dependent on the mother and the father. Because the baby is so dependent, mother will take care, father will take care. Right? Similarly, that kind of dependency should come in us. When we have that kind of dependence, Krishna is fully ruling our life. He will take care of everything that we need in our life. We don't have to worry. That is pure devotee consciousness. Right? But now, the other person who is little impure in nature, basically all of us, the other person is representing us only. There is no separate person like that. We all are in this state. There is some impurities in all of us. So, when there is impurity, there is no clarity. That means no clarity means why there is no clarity? Because there are two voices. For a pure devotee, there is only one voice coming from within. That is the Lord's voice. Whatever Krishna says, he'll just follow. But in our case, there are two voices. And when there are two voices, we get confused. Clarity is not there. What are the two voices? There is a voice of the ego, there is a voice of God, Krishna. So when there is a conflict, when there are two things coming up, then we get confused. So because there is a voice of ego, this person feels that I am the doer. I have to do something. I am the doer means what? That means there is darkness, there is illusion. Previously, only in the previous verses, Krishna mentioned, right? If you act out of your illusion, false ego, ahankara, then what is happening? You are taking the responsibility for your actions. When you are thinking that you are the doer, then you have to again enjoy or suffer the results of your doership. He thinks that he is doing everything. Why? Because illusion is there. He is not seeing God now. He's listening to the voice of his ego. He thinks that I am the doer of everything. And more, a person is possessed by this ego. He has that doership mentality. I am the doer. Right? And because this kind of mentality is there, then Krishna says, oh, all right. I will not come into the picture because you are thinking that you are the doer. Now you enjoy the results of your doership. When we are under Krishna's control, we don't have to worry about the result because Krishna knows what is best for us and he'll give the best for us, for a pure devotee. But now, since a person is driven and possessed so much with the false ego and he is doing everything, Krishna says, oh, all right. You will get results based on your doership, your karma. You enjoy and suffer based on that now. Go. So what is happening now? We are bound. Right? So this is how, when we say that yantra rudani mayaya, so it means that it as if looks as everything is happening automatically. Everything happens automatically. Just like a magnet is there, the magnet iron filings are there. See, when iron is there and the iron filings are there and the magnet is there, you see that iron filings are moving towards the magnet. Now that movement, uh, what happens as if, oh, this movement is happening, it appears that iron filings are moving, right? Iron filings are moving to the magnet. But who is the cause? Not the iron filings. The magnet is the cause. But we don't see the cause, right? Externally, it appears that the iron filings are moving toward the magnet, as if the iron filings are working very hard and moving. They are doing everything. No, they are not doing anything. It is the magnet which is doing everything. It is sitting in one place, but it moves everything around it. So similarly, Krishna is the one, he's moving everything, but it appears that as if we are working. Our body is working based on what? This material combinations that we have, right? Now, if the rusted iron pieces, do you think they'll get attracted? No, they'll not get attracted as much as the iron which is not rusted. When there is rust in the iron, they'll not get attracted to the magnet. That is the rusting that is there, impurity is there, the filing is there. That's why we are not attracted to Krishna. Oh, let me do everything. That little moment they feel that, oh, I'm doing everything. They don't see that actually, oh, magnet is doing everything. Getting the point? So, this is how we need to understand this yantra. This is yantra. This yantra needs to be properly directed in the service of the Lord. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Achyutanji, you are there. Let me add if you are not there. Yes, Achyutanji, please unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse, that is verse number 62. Verse number 62. Okay, Achyutanji is not there. Okay, Hinmat,
I'm
he
there,
is there.
Prabhuji. I'm there.
All right. Okay, all right. Okay. Tameva sharanam gacha
Tameva sharanam gacha
sarvabhavena bharata
sarva bhavena bharata
tat prasadat param shantim
tat prasadat param shantim
sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam.
tanam prapishi sastradam.
Okay, please read the translation.
O Scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and the eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, surrender unto him means basically Krishna, utterly. He is saying to the Supreme, basically. And by his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme eternal abode. Very straightforward thing. Krishna is saying we don't have to really complicate our life. Our life is to be simplified by what Krishna is saying. Just follow that, right? Utterly depending, just like a baby, utterly, full dependence. When we depend, then the grace comes automatically. Prabhupada says in the purport also here, where the transcendental world is described in the Vedic literature. How? Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Paramam Padam. We need to go to that level, Paramam Padam. That Paramam Padam is our ultimate goal. And since all the creation is kingdom of God, everything material is actually spiritual. See how Prabhupada is saying? Everything material is actually spiritual because it is all creation by the Lord only. But Paramam Padam specifically refers to the eternal abode, which is called the spiritual sky or Vaikuntha. For Krishna, there is no differentiation between matter and spirit. Material world and spiritual world, there is no difference for any self-realized soul. The difference is for us, right? This is what we need to understand. And in the 10th chapter, Arjuna also accepted. What did he accept? Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Right? Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Krishna, you are the Param Brahma and you are also Param Dhama. And that's what Krishna here is saying. You will attain that Param Brahma situation and you will come to my Param Dhama. See? Arjuna had already accepted. There is no doubt in Arjuna's mind. In the 10th chapter only, Arjuna has accepted already immediately that you are the Supreme. But this clarification is what for us. Oh, Arjuna, if you are confused, if you act according to your false ego, you will face this. This is all for us actually. Because Arjuna has already accepted in the 10th chapter, Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Getting the point? So, just depend utterly. Many times, we think, I can do this, I can. do that. We act as per our false egos. Let us understand. Let's see what Krishna is trying to say. What Krishna has in it for me, we need to see. Anything, any situations, any life problems when it comes to us, you should see what is Krishna's. Um, if Krishna was there in this particular thing, if Krishna is guiding me, what will he say in this situation to me? This is what is happening to Arjuna now. See, Arjuna had his own perception earlier, but when he understood, he heard from Krishna, his perception transformed. And this transformation of perception is called transpection. New word I'm giving you. Transpection. Transpection means what? Transpection means transforming your perception is called transpection. Transforming your perception from negative to positive without changing the situation is called transpection. So, what is happening to Arjuna? He transformed his perception from negative to positive, from not fighting to fighting, without changing the external situation. He was still on the battlefield, and the perception changed, right? So, we need to, in our life, also transpect. Transpect how? Okay, I have a certain situation in my life. How do I take this negative situation? Okay, let's see, refer to Prabhupada, let refer to Bhagavad Gita. Then see, oh, what Krishna is saying. Then, oh, this is what's told in Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. Then let me now change this negative situation based on the knowledge given by the Bhagavad Gita and transform it to positive thing. This is called transpection. And this is the most important thing that we are supposed to do by learning Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Changing our perceptions. We all, by birth, by our conditioning, by our past memories, we all have formed different perceptions about the things that we see in this world. But are they right? Your perception are filters, the filters through which you see the world. Are you seeing truth as truth or something else? Depends on the perceptions that you have. So, if you really want to have clear perceptions, or your own perceptions, now cross check them with the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Then, when you have this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, you know, oh, my understanding was actually wrong. So, then you need to transpect and then realign your actions. This is what is called transpection, transforming your perception. So, from now onwards, at least for the next 1 week, if you're consciously using this transpection in your life, you will see, wonderful. Your all the negativities, sit and introspect all the negativities in your life. See what are those, list them, and see at least next one in this 1 week, identify the negative situations of your life. Okay, and transpect them. Okay, Prabhuji, I had this negative thought, negative idea, but now I want to change this to this. This is a homework. Next week, when we meet, we are going to discuss at least one of your uh, ideas that you have transpected. Use this transpection. Okay. My earlier understanding was this, but now my understanding is this. Give examples. That we will do next. Each one of you make at least give one example in the next session without fail. Okay. And I'm going to remind this on Saturday or on Friday itself so that you be prepared. This we are going to do next week. Okay. So before we end, let us take one more last verse. So Dave, you can unmute yourself. Or Divik, you were there. You didn't get a chance to read the translation. So let us chant the last verse for today, 63rd verse. Okay. Iti te jnanam akyatam. Okay, let me add him. Yeah, he's already there. Yes, Divik, you can unmute yourself and chant the next verse. Iti te jnanam akyatam.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं
Guhyat guhyataram maya.
गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया
विमृशैतद् अशेषेण
उर्मिषैतदशेषेण
यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, you see, look at this very important point. Thus, I have explained to you the knowledge still more confidential now. Confidential knowledge was already given to them in the ninth chapter only, Rajavidya, right? Now, this is more confidential. So, Krishna is saying, deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. See, Krishna is giving the free will, not telling that, oh, Arjuna, you have to do just what I have told, just follow what I have. No, he's giving the free will. Although Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he could have forced Arjuna now fight. No. He is telling, I have given you knowledge. You do what you wish to do. You take the responsibility for action. This is love. Love means what? You give the freedom to the person. A right coach, a right guru never takes away the freedom of his disciples, right? His dependents. So a person, the one thing that we need to learn also, suppose if you are a manager, if you are a team leader, please understand you can give and motivate and inspire people through your knowledge, but you cannot force them. You cannot force them. If you try to force them, then what happens is you are trying to choke their freedom. And when you try to choke their freedom through micromanagement and all those things, if you become too controlling, then they may not actually like it. They slowly within their consciousness start disliking you. So let's not give a chance for that. Freedom has to be given to each one of us. Only when there is freedom, then there is love. You cannot force anyone to love. If there is a force, then it is not love. Please understand. So these are some very important principles that we need to understand. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, now I have given you all the confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, in fact. So now just utilize this properly. Utilize this and act accordingly. You take your decisions whether to fight or not. Right? Already Krishna has explained the Brahma Bhuta stage now, most highest level, full joyful state of existence can be gotten through this knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is that knowledge. People, we may talk about happiness by this and that and so many things like that. But ultimately, true happiness comes only when you are connected with your true self, your spiritual identity. Only when you're connected with your spiritual identity, that is when the true happiness comes. That is called the Brahma Bhuta stage. So here Krishna is saying, Yata ichasi tata kura, as you may like, you act accordingly. So he will not interfere. Krishna is so wonderful. He gives the independence. But that independence we should utilize properly. Because we misutilize that independence, we are here suffering in this material world. But when you actually use that independence back in the service of the Lord, in loving Krishna, automatically then, oh wow, what a wonderful spiritual life we will lead in the spiritual abode. That is fun. Please understand. Okay, so freedom is one very important aspect in spiritual life. We have the freedom to make choices. Let's utilize that freedom to make the right choice, to serve Krishna and to love Krishna all the time. Be conscious of Krishna, hence. Okay? Any questions? Any doubts? Anybody on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. All those who have joined on YouTube can say Hare Krishna so that I know that you have joined. Any questions? Any doubts? Let me see the chat section if there is anything. Yes. So,
Prabhu,
yes.
yeah. So, Prabhuji, you were mentioning about that two people now in our mind, in ourselves. Sometimes
Hmm.
we have two voices.
Yes.
So then I get that feeling, Prabhuji. So I don't know which one is me.
Ah. So that's why it is called. I stated this transpection. So what happens now? You do it. Let us do this activity. You do it actually right now. See, suppose there is a negative thing, situation or event or some thought that is going on in your mind. You please make a note of. Oh, this is my understanding right now, which is not right understanding. So if this is the understanding, if there is something that is bothering you, something that is disturbing you, please understand it is not the right thing, because anything that is right as per dharma will not make you feel wrong about or disturbs you. It makes you happy. It never makes you disturbed. So if there is something that is disturbing you, that situation, that particular thing, please hold on, write it down and transpect. Hmm? You see that how you can transform this perception of yours. Oh, this is my perception about this particular person or this particular situation, right? And how can I take it now from the Bhagavad Gita angle? Okay, if this is what Krishna is saying, let me transpect it and see how that negative thing can be changed to positive thing. So introspect a little bit and then use this technique, use this technique to transform that. So you use it on, apply this on some of your things, and let us discuss this in the next verse. Now there are always two wheels. You know, you must have heard this very wonderful story of Cherokee. You know, this one young boy, little boy, he goes to his grandfather crying and saying that he was very angry actually. He says, there is some injustice done to me because of my friend. And the grandfather says, my dear boy, the similar situation have happened to me. You know, there were people who have done injustice to me. But you know what? Hate, when you have hate and anger in yourself, it is like drinking poison yourself and expecting your enemies to die. How that is possible? You drink the poison and your enemy will die? No, hate and anger is like that. So he says it's as if like there are two wolves inside me. There are two wolves. One is evil wolf, which is basically the greed, anger, pride, ego, you know, and the other wolf is all love, compassion, joy. This is the other wolf. So these two wolves, they constantly fight and within me, and they demotivate my spirit. So this person, this boy, intently looks at his grandfather and says, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" The grandfather smilingly replied, "The one which you feed." So in your life also, there will be these two voices, the good and the bad. Which one will win? The thought on which you feed. You feed the negative thought, it will win. You feed the positive thought, it will win. So, which one you want to feed? If you keep feeding them with what? With your attention. If your attention is constantly on the negative things, negative situations, then that will grow more and more. That negative wolf will win inside you. If the positive wolf is there and you are giving attention to that, then that will win. So now, please, you look into your own lives, each one of you, and identify some of these negative situations or negative things about certain people, certain perceptions that you have, and then use the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and let us discuss. I'm going to share mine also, but next time. I want to hear from you first. So, okay, let me give. Now, let me not hold on to this. See, when I was early joining the ISKCON temple, right? Before joining, we all undergo certain training phase. And in one of that, very important aspect is you have to get up early in the morning. Now, you will see, oh, Prabhuji, you get up early so morning. Now, this is not so easily that has come to me. Earlier, I used to feel, oh, what is this getting up early in the morning? I had a perception that I can practice spirituality even if I wake up late. You know, that's the perception that I had. But then constantly the devotees used to tell, they gave me knowledge, no, we have to get up early morning because that's a Brahma Muhurta time. Then that's the time then we actually are very alert and we are very positive. That's when our attention is at highest level. We can do chanting very properly. All the great leaders in the society are early risers. You know, this is what the perception they started giving me. This information, what they gave me, helped me to change my perception that from not getting up early morning to actually getting up early in the morning. So then I did, then what should I do? Yes, I got the information. The next thing is action. I started sleeping early. Then I started eating early. Then what's happening? That helped me to actually get up early in the morning. So my perception from not getting up early, ended up being getting up early in the morning. Now it's so natural. Getting up early morning is so natural now, right? So this is the past now. So this is similarly in your own ways, in your own life also, you will have a certain perceptions which are holding you back. Now see, apply this knowledge, information that we have discussed from so many years now, last 3, 4 years. See how those can be changed, right? So transforming your perception is very important. Yes. There might be some questions on YouTube. Let me see. Thank you. Yes. Neha also has joined. Thank you so much for joining. Any questions? Any questions that you have? Anything that we discussed today you want to ask more? Oh, so, Hina Mataji, is that clear to you? Anything you want to ask further?
No, no, yes, Prabhuji, I'll introspect and I'll try and give you the feedback.
Yes, definitely. Always, each one of us will have these two voices within inside. All of us.
So my question was actually, Prabhuji, I didn't
Yeah.
know, I understood it in this way that one of them was me.
Why not?
One of the voices was mine.
Yeah.
So I was probably both are mine. So I was trying to actually identify that if one is me and one is somebody else, then which one is me? I was confused about that.
Huh.
But then you're saying there are two wolves, which I've heard that story before. So
Yes.
they are both me. So basically, we only oppose ourselves because we are trying to get to some. I think we are trying to convince ourselves as to what I want is good.
Yes. Yes, because what happens is, see, initially what happens is, see, when we take the ownership of our own activities, right, then there'll be these two wolves. It's a fight between your own ideas. There are two ideas. There is a good idea. There is a bad idea. Okay, so initially it is the fight between a good idea of yours and a good and a bad idea of yours. So it is the fight between your own ideas. The Lord is not in the picture still. But when you become
Yes.
pure, more and more pure, then the second voice becomes. The initial voice is just between those appears to be two voices actually, but they are actually two ideas between your own thing, in your of your own creation. But then there is another voice that comes. That is Krishna's voice. That Krishna's voice is based on completely different perception. See now Arjuna also he gave very good ideas not to fight. Good logic he gave. But then when Krishna came into picture, he transformed his perception altogether. So that's what we are supposed to do. See, there might be good and bad. As per my perception, something is good, something is bad right now. And there are these two wolves, bad and good. But now Krishna is not talking about bad and good. Now killing is in one sense bad, right? It is bad. But from Krishna's perspective, killing is good. The perception changed. So similarly, what Arjuna thought killing to be a bad thing completely transformed. So similarly, right now, your own conflict between good and bad may not be the actual spiritual thing what Krishna wants. So what Krishna wants is the next level when you listen to him, that voice. To listen to that voice, our mind should be peaceful. So our mind is peaceful when we become aware of these good and bad within our own thought process, our own perception. We first need to become aware. That's why introspection is required. You become aware of what is happening within you, because when you become aware of what is happening within you, this good and bad, then, oh yes, you become calm, peaceful. Then you will be able to hear Krishna's voice, because you are doing sadhana, you are chanting regularly, you are doing some seva. So then what happens? Oh yes, Krishna also will not simply speak out like that. He will also see whether this person is interested in me or not. So when you start chanting, then Krishna, oh yes, he's chanting my name, then he will matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna said, right, I will give that knowledge to that person. I will see that, he gets the memory to remember the right things. So Krishna is ready to help all of us. That second voice, Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha, Krishna is ready to give. Before that, we need to calm our mind with all this conflict that is going on. So that is when the second voice comes up, Krishna's voice. Right? Right now, we are not even listening to that Krishna's voice. We are busy between our own mind. Our own mind is putting thoughts, sometimes good, sometimes bad, negative, positive, negative, positive. And we are thinking these are two voices. No, there are not two voices. It's our own voice. Mind is giving us two different conflicting ideas, basically. You
Yes,
got the
Prabhu.
point?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So stillness, just like when the water is still, the reflection is better. When the water is agitated, you cannot see the reflection. If you see the moon is properly reflected in the still water, but if you disturb the water, ripples are there. The moon will not be able to be. The moon reflection is not clear. So similarly, our mind needs to be stabilized first so that we properly understand what Krishna wants to say. So that peacefulness, that calmness should come first. And that comes by chanting, meditation. Very important. Krishna is saying, then is Lord not imposing his will on Arjuna to become conscious of him? No, Krishna gave him the knowledge. After giving the knowledge, Krishna is giving ete echisi tata kuru. You want to be conscious of me or you don't want to be conscious of me. I leave it to you, Arjuna. Right? He is giving that. Arjuna already understood that Krishna is the supreme. He's supreme, Paramdhama. But after knowing that, Krishna is still saying whether to act, finally to act or not act, fight or not fight is your choice. Krishna is giving that choice. He's not forcing. This is what Krishna ji is saying. Krishnananda is saying this is Lord, then the Lord is not imposing his will on Arjuna. He will not. To become conscious, it's our own choice. Any decisions that you take should see that's why the force of action is there because of Rajaguna. Force of action is there. Giving direction is your choice. The force to think is there. But giving direction to your thoughts to be conscious of Krishna, that is your choice. So that independence we have, that choice we have. Hope you got the point. Yes. Anything else? Okay, so with this, we will end the session today and we will continue from where we have left. And hopefully, we will try to complete chapter 18 in the next session. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining on YouTube and StreamYard. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me in the WhatsApp group. Please take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.